What are some feasible ways that marketers can make more time for content marketing?
Well, you can look at time in a couple of different ways. I would say that time is an issue because marketers, instead of creating the best content they can, are creating more and more and more and more and more because they have to post to the blog 5 times a day, and they need to publish a newsletter on Tuesday, and they need to have a white paper, and they need to run a webinar, and all for what? And what strategy is it feeding, and what story is it telling that are actually helping their buyers buy from them? And so I would argue that it's a mismanagement of time because they have a misconception about what content marketing is in its most effective form. It's not more, it's better. And so if we really focus on that and how do we create truly meaningful content, I think they have enough time because they're not wasting it doing all those other things. And so the other thing about time, and it's along the same vein, is strategy. If you have a strategy, you're not sitting in a meeting on Monday morning going, well, guys, what should we write this week? What do you think? Well, let's see, And I mean, I have clients that's what they used to do, And so I think it's not really time. I think there are things masquerading as time.
Sure, it's almost like a quality versus content balance, a quality versus quantity balance.
And it's what marketers fall into all the time. Quantity of leads, quantity of content, quantity of everything.
I would totally agree with Ardith there. I think there's an efficiency opportunity. I think marketers tend to they love the shiny, bright, new object and chase after that. And that is an inherent flaw and I've seen it in my own marketing career. You go for that shiny, bright object, but you don't realize that there are actually ways that you can recycle things that have already been created, where you're actually saving a bunch of time up front with the strategy and work that went into, say, a larger pillar piece, for example, and really recycling that content in a meaningful way and, pivoting off of and creating new topics. I've had this discussion with folks at Autodesk. A lot of the content creators, is the fantastic content that comes out of the company, but sometimes they'll come to me and say, should I create sort of equal content for each stage of the buyer's journey, for example? And I'll say, I wouldn't do that. What I would do is look at your buyer's journey and figure out where things are getting stuck in that process, and figure out what are those pivotal pieces of content that you need that will unstick, right? So for example, you're trying to sell a cloud solution into construction, and you're trying to convince somebody who's more old school IT that the cloud is actually in some ways a more safe bet than letting people run software on their laptops. That will enable your potential buyer to have that conversation with the IT guy and really keep that project moving in the sales process. So I think it's being thoughtful about where you apply your content creation within the buyer's journey.
And that helps you with time management.
Yeah. It's such a great thought. So time management to me is an excuse. I know it because I say it all the time. I have no time for this. I think we're all guilty of that. I know I do all the time. So to me, going back to the basics, is you got to own your calendar. You got to own your time, whether it's showing up 30 minutes early for work to make time for something. But to truly, to know how much your opportunity cost is or opportunity loss for your time is, I mean, you have to have that entire funnel measured all the way through to know exactly how much, the dollar a minute is costing you, things like that. That's kind of what we've kind of done, but we've implemented some other pretty interesting concepts like agile marketing, agile method of the Scrum mentality to help churn and burn, if you will, to speed up that time. We've also implemented some new team-based strategies and structures, like sealing off an entire operations team of content marketers, digital specialists, videographers, and then writers. So therefore, all they focus on is a specific piece or specific product of our content funnel. And they go all the way up and down, from the close in aligning with sales, all the way up to the awareness. And then all the other clutter, the noise that comes in there, we deflect it, we pick it up, or we kind of push it off and say, it's not as important knowing how much their time is and how valuable that is. Those are a few of the things that we've tried.
Yeah, I like the agile mentality, because with agile, you really prioritize what it is that you have to get done and get out the door. And it goes back to focus. We all have a lot more time, like Ardith said, if we just know what it is that is a priority, and we know what it is that we start to say no to, because there's a lot that we get asked to do, a lot that we're expected to do out of habit, but that's what we need to be able to start saying no to. Mm-hmm. And that agile helps you prioritize all of that.